So I'm here with Fraser. Fraser is my business partner at Podium Tri, and he's managed to convince me that doing an FTP is in my best interest. Now, I'm not too sure, but he did say you'll get loads out of this. So I'm going to introduce Fraser, and he's going to tell me why he's going to put me through some pain over the next while.
Well, the next 20 minutes is going to be fun, Alan. But
Great.
An FTP is a simple benchmark that a lot of cyclists have come to use these days as an identification as to how well they're going. All right, it's just a benchmark. But it's FTP means functional threshold power. It basically means that it's your power to weight ratio. So you get an average power. And the typical test, the most convenient test, is a 20-minute power test, which is what we're going to do today. That power that you average over that 20 minutes will be divided by your weight and then adjusted by a calculation to deliver what you can actually provide over 1 hour, typically about 1 hour.
So it's actually going to work in my favour that I'm really heavy at the moment.
Your power should be quite high, but it obviously is based upon around your fitness as well. So you're going to have to go as hard as you can and basically have nothing left for that 20 minutes. So we're going to do it.
Which shouldn't be difficult, I would have to say.
It will be difficult, but you'll be starting easy. So we're going to do this in the format of a ramp test. Now, there are two different ways of doing it, typically, for 20 minutes. Sometimes you just get on the bike and go as hard as you can for 20 minutes.
Okay.
My preference to do a ramp test, especially for someone who's of our age, we're both 50 plus. It means that you start out a bit easier, but then you start to climb and you ramp it up, until you're going as hard as you possibly can, and that's either in or out of the saddle.
Okay, so we will do a little talk after the end of this, but my thought is we'll do a few things during as well. And you'll see how I'm feeling and what my perceived exertion is and all that sort of stuff. And then I guess after this, we can do a little chat and then kind of what the next steps are as well. How I'm gonna utilise it, how I'm gonna use it moving forward to help me get to Paris next year.
It's just basically a benchmark that gives you a level against which you can see if you're improving or not. And obviously, as you're training for your Tour de Me, you're likely to lose weight, but increasing power against that weight should mean that you're becoming a better cyclist and fitter.
Cool. All right, so we'll see you in a little bit.
So, Alan, we're about to start your ramp test. How are you feeling?
I've just done a 10-minute warm-up and I'm sweating already.
Right.
So yeah.
So just drive down and we're about to hit the start button. So we'll be back in about 3 minutes' time, see how Alan's getting on, and we'll every time he ramps up, we'll have a chat.
Okay,
mate?
All right.
So we're approaching 4 minutes. Alan's currently doing 148, 150 watts. Cadence is about right at 79. His target cadence is about 85. That's what he feels comfortable at. And we're now moving up through the gears to 160 watts. But it still seems okay, actually.
Starting to breathe.
We've opened the windows.
I feel my breathing quickening up.
Can you?
Yeah, we still talk, mate. Just about.
Good. We've got the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes, so keep on pace. So moving up now for nearly 6 minutes. Target watts 175. It's starting to struggle a bit, actually. On you, mate.
Yeah.
But we're going to get you through it.
Look at my heart rate. 170 already.
I can guarantee you in 3 months' time this is going to be a different Alan. Here you go, mate. Alright, we're now target above 200 watts. Struggling a bit now. So you've got to keep going. We've got to get to at least 10 minutes, hopefully, which is 2 more minutes. Definitely dying now. Go on, Alan. Keep going. It's going to be a different Alan in 3 months' time. Come on, keep going, keep pedalling, out the saddle. Come on. Come on, you're still doing the watts. Come on, keep going.
Oh, have you done?
Right, I think you're done. Aren't you? You alright? So, Alan, how are you feeling? Right.
Absolutely goosed.
So you managed 8 minutes roughly. We've got the results.
Wow. That's crap.
Well, it's crap, but it's the start, and that's the reason why you need to do these things, because you need a benchmark on which to measure yourself.
My
Okay?
heart rate just goes through the roof,
Yeah.
and I just struggle to keep up with that then, especially in terms of cadence. Power I can do, but I have to muscle it, so that feels really wrong. So I think there's a lot to work on my technical stuff as well. But as you can see, what's that? 60 seconds since we finished.
Yeah.
Breathing's returning, heart rate's returning, chilled on the bike. I feel I could go again now, but I know that ain't going to be possible. But I think that's the sprinter in me, is a max out effort once, take a couple minutes rest and then go again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's how I translate that into you know, a 40, 50, 80, 100 miler.
Oh, we could work on that.
Yeah.
But at least we've got some numbers that we can use as the first building block to work on, can't we? So.
Okay.
All right, but well done.
Yeah.
All right, stuff, and we'll look forward to episode 2 when we'll hopefully have some better numbers.
Sweet. All right.
Well done.
So I've just come off completing the ramp test on Watt bike. I have to say I'm absolutely knackered. I was going well, and then all of a sudden it just hit me. It felt like my heart rate just maxed out. My legs just went really heavy, and I guess retrospectively a bit disappointed. But as I say, it's the first one. It's the start of everything. So, Fraser, what are your thoughts on it?
So yeah, don't beat yourself up, Alan. It's your first ramp test, and the purpose of it was to give yourself a benchmark. Okay, so we got some interesting data out. What was most interesting for me was we obviously did the official lab test a while back. While the lab test gave you 5 training zones, and obviously Watt bike give you 6, which you can't default back to 5. When we overlay them, the Watt bike test is very generic versus your lab test. So I think you should rely more on your lab test data.
Okay.
So that for me shows me that a lot of these systems, such as Watt bike and other systems, aren't necessarily as accurate as a lab test. So if you are serious about doing training, you should probably consider those tests. Your maximum heart rate was 207, which for a 50-plus-year-old
55
isn't bad at all, mate. But
is it though? Is it bad or is it good? I don't know.
I think it's good, but what is bad is the speed that you got there, actually. So we need to work on more endurance.
From these, and we've got my overall power, my VO2 max, and obviously we've got the lab test results from that as well. What's sort of your recommendations moving forward on that?
So what's pretty clear to me, Alan, is that you need to do more in the terms of endurance training, more threshold based zone 2 training. So zone 2 threshold.
Okay, so what would that look like to me? I know what it is in swimming, but I have no idea what it would look like in cycling.
Well, you've obviously got your zone 2 now.
Yeah.
And the idea to build more endurance is to do a lot more training in zone 2. So it's pretty comfortable. So you should be able to have a conversation in zone 2. When I said threshold a minute ago, I wasn't meaning threshold in terms of, your long-term effort. I was more meaning staying comfortable on the bike and just doing more miles in zone 2.
Okay, and how long would I do that for?
An hour minimum per ride, I would
Okay,
suggest.
and what, 3-4 times a week, or?
You should do, it's based upon how much time you've got available, really. So you should seek to maximise out your time in terms of just doing zone 2 efforts. I'm injured at the moment and I'm doing zone 2 as well. So for me, zone 2 is probably the best but most forgotten part of training that anyone can do.
And how many weeks should I do that for?
You should do it all the time.
Okay, so like no rest weeks or adaptation weeks, or mix it up with a bit of speed work and a bit of power or anything like that. Just go 3, 4, 5 sessions a week, doing an hour to 2 hours at zone 2.
Well, initially to get your fitness better, yes, but you can do HIIT training as well. I wouldn't suggest more than 2 HIIT sessions a week.
Okay.
And obviously you've got to have at least 1 recovery day.
Yeah.
Especially, given the goal that you've got. You should probably build in at least a rest week every 3 or 4 weeks in your current position at the moment.
So let me get this straight. So moving forward, we're doing 3, 4, sometimes 5 sessions a week, plus all the other stuff that I do, weights, and it's starting to be cricket season, by the way, on top of everything I do, then do that for sort of at this stage of the season, 12 months out from what I want to do next May. So if I can do that for the next 6 weeks, so to like the end of May, start of June, then we'll reassess it. How often do I need to do the FTP?
A good practice is probably to do it every 3 months.
Okay. So we're looking start of July.
Yeah.
Middle of July.
Otherwise, you're not going to see you're going to see pretty big improvements. In my opinion, you should, if you're training right, see big improvements over 3 months. Whereby, if you were to do an FTP test every month, one, they're not enjoyable.
Oh, two, definitely. I can attest to that. Yeah.
And two, you're not really going to see the improvements that you're after after just a month.
I guess you're learning the test then as well.
Yeah.
You're just learning how to do the test better.
Yeah, you are. But remember, we're coming into the spring, summer months now. Zone 2 training is fun. It's enjoyable. It means you can ride with your friends. It means it's just you can enjoy the weather. And, with those HIIT sessions, you maybe want to go to the gym and ride in gym sessions. At our local gym, we've got spin sessions that you might want to do once or twice a week.
Okay.
Just to keep your strength up. But, yeah, Zone 2 is where it's at right now.
All right, cool. Well, we'll take it from there. I'll do some Zone 2s this week. I know we're on Wednesday already, but I've got till next week this time, and I'll see where we go.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Cheers, mate. So we're back again. I forget what number ride this is. I think it's number 4 or 5. I'm just going to go and try and do, after the testing on last week, or the middle of this week, we'll be trying to do half an hour, 40 minutes at a decent pace this time. So working towards my sort of VO2. I'll come back to you after the ride. I like to have pause. So that's 15 minutes in, averaging 120 watts, averaging 75 RPM. My heart rate is 161, but averaging about 159. So halfway through, let's see where we get to. So that's me done my half an hour at around 120 watts. Bit above, bit below from time to time. Heart rate was above 160, yeah, 30 seconds later, it's down to 135. I really struggle between that 20 to 30 minute section at that pace, but it will get better. I've just got to get through it, and I think moving forward, because going constant really affects me, I think what we'll do is do sort of 4 minutes at slightly above, so like 125, 130, and then a minute below 110, 105. Just to give me that active recovery and see where we go from there. So that's that ride. Super average, probably 5 out of 10, as I'm aware and as you guys know. This is me just starting from level 0, nowhere near level 1 yet, but I'll get there. So that's a heart rate down to 125. Very quickly, so that's lost 35 beats a minute after about 1.5 minutes. So yeah, onwards and upwards. We'll take it from there. See you soon. So there we have it, the end of podcast 2. Couple of rides with an FTP. I did 2 more rides that week as well. Progressively a little bit better, but not massively. That's the foundation that I need to work on. So yeah, if you enjoy this, let me know and email me in at coach@podiumtry.co.uk. If you want any more information, let me know as well. I've lined up in a couple of weeks' time to speak to a nutritionist about how we go about losing, I think, 10k over the next 12 months. But that'll be an interesting conversation. Have fun, enjoy your cycling, enjoy getting fit, and I'll see you down the road.